With a law designated Mr Glenton Mashinini as the chairperson of the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa. The announcement has been met with mixed reaction with opposition parties. Mr Mashinini served as Deputy Chief Electoral Officer of the IEC from 1998 to 2001, where he was responsible for the establishment and administration of the National Head Office, all 9 Provincial Electoral Offices and approximately 350 Municipal Electoral Offices. So this is not new territory for him, and Mr Mashinini joins us in studio now to talk more about his new role. Good to have you in studio. Welcome.
Thank you, Leanne and the listeners.
Tell us a little bit more about Glenn Mashinini. I mean, we've just spoken about the fact that you were part of the IEC. What else have you done?
Predominantly, I've been a consultant, specializing in management. One of the major assignments was actually when I was recruited from the Playhouse Theatre in Durban to come and help to establish the Independent Electoral Commission during Justice Krugler's chairmanship and Professor Mandla Mchunu as the CEO.
Yeah. Let's jump straight into it. I mean, I started the interview by saying the fact that it's been mixed with, well, I suppose your appointment has been met with mixed reaction from opposition parties. And for those that I suppose don't know you, it's also that you do have a relationship with our president and served as a special projects advisor to our president, Jacob Zuma. And many feel that perhaps this is going to hold you in bad stead, that you're not going to be impartial. What's your reaction to this?
No, as a democracy, and also if you consider the institution, definitely we need to subject anyone appointed to that responsibility to fair questioning and satisfy ourselves that that person is met or does not meet the requirements. Now, the concerns that have been raised, I actually accept them, and they are correct, that they should be raised. The only thing is that they are not based on fact. They are not substantiated by any facts. Now, the best practice is, one, we are a constitutional democracy, and the institution is actually what we call governed by the Constitution. Now, in terms of constitutional requirements, those were matters that were canvassed quite comprehensively by the panel chaired by none other than the Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court as to whether is one eligible or not. And having established that yes, one is eligible, then matters move to the next stage, the meritocracy. And the meritocracy, that does one meet those particular requirements. Now, in the country, I do believe that I actually am one of the products of this country in terms of subject matter expertise. And the third part is that, was the due process followed? Now, it has been a long due process that has been followed, culminating in the designation to this responsibility. And for that, I am actually very much humbled. And for me, having also served the president of the country in his capacity as a head of state, not as a political head of a ruling party, from a career point of view, for me, that was the ultimate achievement in my consulting work when I actually went to serve in that office. And the context of how I ended up serving, I was doing consulting work in review of all our state-owned entities. And it was at that time when he then asked the question, who is going to implement this report? And he requested that I then avail myself. I suspended all my consulting business activity in sacrifice to serve my country, as I always have. And that's why I remain very proud of that particular achievement. Yeah. So the basis of that then, one, his integrity is brought into question is not based on any particular fact.
But I do respect the fact that you're open to the questions, and
absolutely,
the fact that you've explained yourself and your position is a good thing. But at the end of the day, this is a very well-oiled machine, and the IEC is respected around the globe for the work that it does, for the integrity that it has. And obviously it is your job to carry this forward.
Yes.
Are there any concerns that you would like to address going into this position now?
Well, for me, I've had the privilege now of having spent the last few months as the commissioner before the designation. And I also took the time to actually engage my colleagues first and foremost. I was warmly welcomed by the Vice Chairperson, who inducted me and introduced me to the other commissioners, as well as the executive officer and all the senior managers, including the provincial offices. I also have visited all 9 provinces already to actually have a first-hand assessment and understanding of what is the state of readiness of the institution, where are the challenges, but more than anything is where do I add value, because this is one of the most distinguished institutions post-94 that we should be proud of. And it so happened that I feel that I was actually part of the team that were the midwives to this. And so for me, this is a homecoming. In fact, most of the staff members, senior staff members, were actually interviewed, and most of them have letters of appointment that were signed by me. So I'm moving into a family and a team of a very competent, commissioners and senior managers and staff throughout the country that are serving this institution with pride.
We wish you the best of luck. And like I said to you earlier, you're going to become very, very familiar with this chair going up to, especially next year when we have our local government elections. Glenn Mashinini, congratulations on the position. And thanks very much for coming in and talking to us here on the programme.
Sharply, and thanks to the...
Thank you so much. All right, Glenn Mashinini, of course, is the newly elected chair of the Independent Electoral Commission. This after Pansy Tlakula was removed or taken off from that particular position, and following in from the unbelievable Brigalia Balm as well. All right, let us take a